Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chattercast, a podcast where we talk about everything Pokemon. This episode, I have Captain Jerwal and SuperEffective87, so say hi.
Hi, I'm captainjeraw.
Hi, I'm Super Effective 87. We're at least half of it.
Yes. Anyways, we have a list of topics to talk about here, and first, we're going to start with weather in various tiers, OU and hail and sand and all that. So, um, does anyone want to start off? Because I'll start off if you guys don't.
I think we should start off with rain. It's probably the most threatening.
Yes, everyone always tends to complain about rain in OU, saying how it's like used so much, like all I face is rain teams. But the usage has shown time and time again that the majority of teams have no weather. I think it's around half, but yeah.
Hmm.
I
That's
think rain is fairly easy to prepare for, though. Like, if you just have like bulky grass types like Celebi, then rain teams just like lose to you. Like, if you
well.
have like Celebi in like combination with like a Terrakion or something.
Then there's the fact that yeah, you can have those, but now all these rain people are putting Expert Bell Keldeo with HP Bug on, so your Celebi isn't even safe.
There's also, water types like Jellicent,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Joe.
true.
and
But usually they have like Thundurus
But
on
then they
them.
have Thunders.
sometimes Tentacruel is used on Sun teams, stuff like that too. Uh,
Um, and not some like even times. You can have your Celebi, but then there's you can still be potentially 2 KO'd by Keldeo in the rain, like with specs.
Mm.
I think it's a lot of it's just a matter of playing around everything. Like, I mean,
And how smartly they play their Politoed if you have like a Tyranitar.
right, like some people are really reckless with their weather user when they shouldn't be. Like when the opponent has Sun, for example, where it's really important to keep your Politoed because Venusaur can just destroy rain teams if Politoed's dead and there's Sun up. Um, Speaking of Sun, we can talk about that a little bit.
I personally think sun is the most broken weather,
I
honestly.
I second that opinion. Sun is very very good. The thing about Sun though is that the teams are kind of pretty hard to make. You're very limited, and I use Sun teams a lot. So when I usually build a Sun team, you obviously need Ninetales, and depending on what weather abuser I'm going to use, I usually only use one. Um, you pretty much need Doug Trio unless you want to use mixed Venusaur with Earthquake or HP Ground Volcarona, but you will miss Giga Drain. And then you need your spinner and your Terrakion check, so it's either Donphan or Fortress.
When some
And then,
people run Don Fan instead of Doug Trio, right?
yeah, you could, depend on what kind of Sun team you're making. There's like Sun Stall teams, which normally have Donphan or Fortress. Um, Sun
Now,
Offense,
would you consider the team that you gave me with like Slow King and Zapdos Sunstall, or is that like Sun balanced?
it's like Sun Balance because it still has Terrakion and it's like it could be considered semi-stall, but I don't really use hazards at all. So yeah, I guess it still is balanced.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah,
think
but
that you go ahead, go.
well, some teams are like very limited, and there's the hazards you gotta watch out for too because Ninetales is weak to Stealth Rock, and you have to have your rain check. So they're just pretty unoriginal. So people tend to stay away from them because you may not think they're fun, and they do take some skill to use, more than like clicking Hydro Pump in the rain. And my bad, 250. Surspect Keldeo doesn't do a KO Celebi in rain. It has like 39 to 46% though, which is still crazy. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like expert built HP Bug does like only 70% too.
yeah, Celebi's way too bulky.
Yeah, it's super bulky. On the topic of sun, I think that teams with other weathers like sand or rain, if they play them well, they can easily beat sun. But weatherless teams that like aren't prepared for sun at all, and it's really hard to prepare for sun. You have to really have like a Terrakion and hope that they play badly. But Weatherless
Yeah,
teams can just easily get demolished by sun, especially, the stall teams can get really annoying. Um, and it can be easier to set up with like Venusaur as well because it's faster than everything.
Well,
yeah,
and if they
weatherless
have like
teams.
a, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I went ahead last time.
Well, I was gonna say, if they have something like if you have a weatherless team and they have like a Victini or a Volcarona or a Darmanitan, then
You
if they can
lose.
just give, yeah, you just lose. Like you just can't handle those like without like rain or a Tyranitar or something. It's really difficult to prepare for that.
Well, Volcarona can be
Um,
handled somewhat by Terrakion, but
then you can miss.
yeah, then
Yeah.
if you, I tend to just go for Rock Slide. I mean, you still can miss, but um, when I go into Volcaronas, I tend to just use Rock Slide, and most of the time they just stay in like an idiot.
Hmm.
But like even after one Quiver Dance, like I clearly brought it in because it's Scarf, but you just, you know,
Hold on. What's that berry that reduces the super effectiveness of rock type moves?
um,
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's berries really ever used at all.
It's never used, but I wonder how much it'll do. Anyways, it isn't a good
That
discussion for
could
right
be
now.
interesting though, I guess.
Yeah, it would probably still Oko. I don't know.
If you had like that and then Giga Drain or something.
Rock Slide might not OHKO, but I think Stone Edge would probably still kill it.
Rock Slide does 223 to 263 damage, so probably even with the berry you
No,
die.
yeah, even with the berry, because
Oh, yeah,
I
that would
think it reduces it by half, so yeah, it would
What
still
about the
kill.
bulky set
it
though?
is a Terrakion.
Oh, with the bulky set, you can live a Rock Slide, but
But with the bulky set though, I mean, it couldn't kill back.
Yeah, it's
yeah, no. I hate the bulky set to be honest.
Yeah,
Well, I
Volcarona
don't
is
really
just
hate it, but I like Volcarona just coming in and destroying things with Tailwind.
yeah.
now. Do you think Volcarona has a place on rain, weatherless, or sand teams?
On sand teams, I saw an RMT, and if you don't know what RMTs are, they rate my teams, and you just post them on Smogon, and people help you out. I saw an RMT that utilized Sand Slash and Volcarona core. Sand Slash does not like steel types like Skarm and whatever, and Volcarona can come in and scare them out. Obviously, you can't take a Brave Bird, but you can scare out Ferrothorn and all those people. So yeah, Volk is used in sand teams. It's definitely viable on rain teams. Hurricane, like the resistors of Hurricane are Rotom Wash and uh, Jirachi, and you can deal with Rotom Wash with Bug Buzz, and you can deal with Jirachi with uh, Fire Dance or whatever, I guess. So you do have
Well, would you
really.
even run a fire move though if you were running it on a rain team?
I have no idea what do they
Like
run.
I would think you would run like Hurricane,
They
like
would
They
Bug
run
Buzz, and Giga Drain.
they would probably
um,
run like Giga Drain and Hidden Power Ground or something.
they run Bug Buzz, Hurricane, Fire Blast actually, according to the damage
Really?
calculator. Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Like
Yeah.
I think you would need Giga Drain for like bulky waters because
Well,
because Bug Buzz is gonna like Oko a lot of them and then you just get destroyed.
Yeah. On weatherless teams, I think it could work. It just depends on the team and just
yeah, I like Volk in on weatherless teams probably more than Sun teams because I find that it's really reliant on Sun teams if it's on a Sun team. With weatherless teams, you don't have to worry about changing the weather, and you don't stack Stealth Rock weaknesses because you don't have to have Ninetales and Volk on the same team.
also weatherless allows you to be more creative in your choice of spinners too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because,
Um,
if it rain, you'd be more inclined to use something like Tentacruel as a spinner.
Subtoxic Tentacruel.
Oh my god,
it's a
that's
very
set.
good set.
That set kills me so much.
Hey, you know what? You know what does counters that set? Magic Coach Yosin.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it probably would. They couldn't really do anything to you.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to lower tiers then. I know they were talking
just
about
Hail and OU.
what? Hail?
Yeah, and OU. Are we gonna talk about that?
Well, we can talk. We can talk. Well, I was gonna lump that in with bottom tiers too. Or
That
like,
works.
so they were talking about retesting Sand and UU. And I know I played when Sand was around, and it was pretty powerful if you did not have something to check like Statland. And I mean, Hippopotas is bulky in its own right too. So yeah, I mean, it's hard being the only weather in a tier to stop it too. So
Hmm.
I mean, you're not gonna a lot of teams not you're not gonna run manual weather just to cancel out the sand most of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
because
thing
kind of
about weather in lower tiers is that if it's the only weather, then when you have it, you can just lead off with Hippopotas and then you're fine, and then you can just bring in Stoutland and just kill stuff. So you basically like the like weather is balanced in OU kind of because there's other weathers to cancel it out. Like that's the main reason Sand is run, in my opinion. But like when Sand was in UU a while ago, it's just like you would see it so often, and you could just lead off with Hippopotas, set up Stealth Rocks, die, and then just bring your sweepers.
Right, yeah. I mean, my personal opinion, I don't think sand belongs in UU at all, really.
I think like the one of the main reasons you go to UU is to escape the weather that's in OU.
Yeah, that is true.
And now they're thinking to put it like hail. Stall rain is very annoying, but there is some checks to it like Overcoatus Cavalier, Rain as Kingdra. It's annoying, but it is dealt with. But now they want to put stuff like Regirock with the sand boost in UU.
Oh
Are you
my
kidding?
god.
And Cradily, like Choice Specs, Chandelier
And like
barely 2
Cradily and
KOs Cradily
Shuckle.
in the sand with Fire Blast.
Yeah,
Hello?
that's insane. I think we might have lost Taylor.
Yeah.
Easier to grab a Shell Smash.
Oh,
And then there's Sand Slash, which has Rapid Spin and Sword Dance, and Rock Slide. So the spin blockers in the tier, like Miss Magius, it dies to a Shadow Ball if you carry it. It'll probably take a crap ton of damage from Rock Slide with a +2, and like you can't spin block it. Um, if I like, I can't think of anything in UU that would spin block it.
spin block, what? Dustclops?
Oh,
Or
like
spin
yeah, Aggregates, I guess could spin block it. How much does that do though? I'm gonna quickly
are
calc.
we're talking about Sand Slash here?
Yeah, Sand Slash.
There's like Dustclops might be able to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you ran Toxic on Sand Slash, you can just
Oh my
easily kill
god.
it.
+2, Adamant, Life Orb, Earthquake to Dustclops, 2 KOs, does 54 to 65.
Oh
So it
my
can't commit
god.
spin block.
Wow.
But
Cathagrigus,
you would have to be at +2 though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
you
then you
would
could get
probably,
off one earthquake and then they would just like burn you.
yeah. Offensive, Cathagrigus has a chance to be 2 KO'd by Adamant Life Orb +2 Sand slash Earthquake. It's a 25% chance, but a chance nonetheless.
Wait,
Defensive, yeah.
is Cophagricus bulkier than Dustclops?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Um, the two defensive Cathagrigus, it is also 2 KOs, 67 to 79. But the thing is about Sand Slash is it may not have very many opportunities to set up. Like there are quite a few things in UU that check it. Like you can use Bulky Heracross to come in against it and potentially set up on it. And there's others checks too. None that I can't really think of right now. Like it doesn't
Gligar.
have X. Yeah, Gligar. Gligar's a perfect full stop to it.
Mhm.
So
It could just toxic it and then just spam Stealth Rocks.
Yeah.
the thing about it is if you gets up a +2, then yeah, it's gonna be very annoying. It has rapid spin and it's pretty powerful, but it doesn't have many opportunities to set up, in my opinion.
I still don't think that sand should be allowed. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion. I mean, they're
I don't
they're
want it in.
I
I
mean,
don't
I
want it.
don't know how many people want it. I'm sure there are arguments for it, but I think it's not gonna be allowed when if it gets tested. I don't think it'll pass.
I hope it doesn't.
Now the
'Cause
question is, how close is Hippowdon to dropping to UU?
it's up there. I really don't. It's not close at all.
Because I remember there was a time when Hippowdon and Abomasnow were in UU, and
Uh,
Chansey, so it was just crazy,
Yeah,
just
I can check.
stupid.
I don't think Impaldon has a chance because I've seen it a lot. So I mean,
Yeah, it might be rising in use. It's still really good in OU.
oh yeah, it's really
Oh, it's
Like
bulky.
so
I've been seeing Tyranitar and Hippowdon on the same team a couple times, and it
that's
works
very.
pretty well.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to Hail. In OU and in lower tiers. Um, Personally in OU, I don't actually see Hail a lot, like at all. I don't think Hail is good in OU at all, really. You have to have a. There's just not a lot of options in my like that things that take advantage of it. It's just kind of like a residual damage, and you might as well just use sand, I think, for that.
Mhm.
Uh, in lower tiers, however, it's different, especially like RU, where you have things like Sigilif and things like Glaceon, which just hit super hard. Stall Rain, of course, and thing is, you do have Snover, which is fodder, but it always tends to do something, in my opinion. Whether it just leech
It
seeds
can
or
be really annoying. Like people use the Focus Sash set, and they always get off a Blizzard or a Late Seed, and just
Blizzard does hit pretty hard though.
yeah, I mean,
yeah. I think people do use a Choice Scarf set too, which can also sometimes be pretty annoying too. And actually in OU, like I've the only time I've ever used Hail is when I just ran a Scarfed Abomasnow on a team where I had a Tyranitar also. And it's actually pretty interesting because you can just cancel out their weather, and Abomasnow is actually a pretty decent Pokemon by itself. Just because the set I was running was like Woodhammer, Blizzard, Earthquake, and HP Fire.
Yeah, nothing can really switch into Abomasnow.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting, but definitely all other weathers are better. But
yeah,
There is one Pokemon that we have to talk about in Hail, which is Kyurem and Kyurem Black. They get 100% accurate Blizzards, and they don't take hail damage. And Kyurem, like original Kyurem, uh, has a effective sub roof set that, um, coupled with hail and toxic spikes from Tentacruel, which have really good synergy together, can really wear down your opponent. It can actually PP stall Ferrothorn out of Gyro Ball and then beat it one on one. And it can beat Blissey one on one with sub roost and toxic spikes and hail damage. So it's pretty threatening, but it is Stealth Rock weak. It weak to Dragon. It does resist water moves, so it can set up on Rotom Wash and Keldeo lock into a water move. I don't know if it breaks this up though.
couldn't that technically be run outside of Hail too?
Yeah, it's very effective on rain teams too because Tentacruel, which it has great synergy with, um, benefits from Rain Dish.
Yeah. Hmm.
so it still doesn't really have a huge advantage in hail besides, allowing more residual damage
And nuclear specs blizzards from
in
Kyurem, but that's
Blizzard.
about it.
Yeah. Kyurem Black, I mean, you might as well run regular Kyurem and hail. It
Mm.
doesn't, to be honest, like, I don't know. Because since it's just like, I don't see it as having an advantage in hail as
Yeah,
opposed to
I
anything
would
else.
see like most of the situations you would need for Blizzard, you could accomplish just as well with Ice Beam because it's just like kill Gliscor and Donphan, right?
Yeah, and maybe like hitting Ferrothorn, but I don't know if that would do any more damage than Outrage.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's you might as well just run it on a non-hail team with Ice Beam.
Speaking of Kieran Black, I think that's enough on weather unless anyone has anything else to say.
It should be
Rain,
banned. Hail needs to be banned from RU and UU. That is all.
Rain is very threatening in OU with Tornadus. Incarnate, use it, specs.
And Sun can wreck weatherless teams.
Tornadus, Eye, and Specs Gastrodon have really nice synergy. Like stuff that stops Tornadus Eye, like Jirachi and Rotom Wash, is stopped by Gastrodon. But I just wanted to add that. On a side note, though, Ekans is 640 in usage in OU.
Moving up. Might need to go up a little bit.
It's
No,
gonna go
if we did a flow chart of its rising usage, we can calculate it'll be in the top 10 by 2016.
Anyways, on the topic of Kieran Black, we can move on to suspects. OU in particular, but we can go with other tiers as well. Um, Kieran Black was in Ubers, and it moved down to OU because people weren't using it. Because Kieran White was just better.
Mhm.
Just because Kieran Black doesn't really, the main problem with Kieran Black is that it doesn't have ice physical stab.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah, and just in general, ice is just kind of a detriment to it because it makes it weak to stealth rocks and stuff.
It is a very good offensive typing, though.
yes,
hmm
I mean, its outrages do hit hard and definitely is a big threat in OU, but um, I don't think that if it's, I don't think it needs to be suspected. I think it's perfectly fine where it
Yeah,
is.
it is workaroundable, but it's definitely like pretty ridiculous. And from a Uber standpoint, because I play Ubers, Pure and Black is very viable in Ubers. It's a very good mixed attacker, probably the hardest to switch into, in my opinion. Like it competes with Rayquaza for mixed attacking prowess, but it's very good, and nothing can switch into it because you can have stun and hidden power fire and smash Ferrothorn, which is the premier dragon switch in Ubers.
But isn't it generally outclassed by Zekrom and Ubers?
Zekrom does not have Ice Beam, and
It can get like Focus Blast though, but
which is it's shaky.
I
Zekrom also
guess
has Zekrom
I'm
also has. I mean, Pure and Black also has freeze, like turbo, whatever. Oh,
Turbo
I guess
or
Zekrom has that too. Never mind.
yeah, they both have. I guess the only thing is that Kieran Black can get past Groudon and Gliscor if people run that. Still, I don't know, but
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
do.
can. But in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Pure and Black has.
in my opinion though, if it went back to Ubers, I feel like it would just have the same fate that it did when it originally was released. It'll just go back down again.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
fine.
would just be a thing like people would be like, "Oh, it's back in Uber, so let's make a team with it." But and then eventually it would just go back down.
It's definitely a top tier threat in OU, but nothing really game changing. But you definitely have to prepare for it. But um, it doesn't need to be like suspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
A general rule in OU is that you need at least one steel
Um,
type
the next
too. So
suspect.
most teams have at least one for it.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, but then there's the thing that Pure and Black has moves that can get past some steals, like Earth Power.
Well, and like yeah, and like Pokemon like Jirachi, if you're banded, are just 2 at KO too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Heatran, I think.
I think it's enough on Pure Milk. Seb, what's our next suspect to talk about?
Our next suspect, I think that needs to be talked about is Landorus the special form. It gained a lot of popularity recently. I had the stats up here, and Landers is currently like number. Let's see, where is it? Number 28 on the usage list, which my
Really?
opinion, yeah, I thought that was pretty low.
That
Um,
is pretty low.
Yeah.
it's interesting because its Therian form is 17, so um, I don't know. I thought it was weird to see that, but it definitely is like a huge threat. Um, I mean, like, is very few things can switch in.
Let's talk about the checks for Lander's Eye. You have Celebi and Latias, and I guess Jelson, specially defensive. They're probably the best answers. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah, and Rotom
Yeah.
Wash somewhat as well too,
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
really shaky though. But now people have been using once again bug type moves to get past Celebi and Latias. They have been putting U-turn on Landers, and it smacks Celebi almost beyond repair, and then they can go into their Banded Tyranitar, which is a very common teammate for it. The a very good core is Keldeo, Scarf Keldeo, Rockwash Landers, and then Bandit Tyranitar. T-Tar removes the Celebi and everything that Keldeo and Landers I don't like, and then one of them can hopefully sweep in the end. And so that's one of the things that make Landers so strong is that it can get rid of its checks with team support or just U-turn by itself.
Although you know what that core is destroyed by?
No.
Gyarados.
Yeah, Gyarados is a very good Pokemon in today's metagame.
Gyarados could also switch into Landorus as well.
Yeah, I would say Gyarados is probably one of the best checks to it.
Yeah, Gyarados and Gengar are probably one of the best offensive checks to it. Although you got to watch out for
Unless they
Psychic.
have Psychic, yeah.
Yeah, Psychic like 2 KOs or like if if Gyarados comes in and takes Stealth Rock damage and then Hidden Power Ice damage, I think it is knocked out by Psychic after that. I don't really know, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if it were to suspected and say it did go to Ubers, I don't see it getting too much use, in my opinion.
It is completely outclassed by almost every single Pokemon in that
I mean, I mean, I think even like Tornadus Therian has more use in Ubers than Landorus Eye does.
team. Yep.
Uh,
What about like physical Landorus on an Uber Sand team? Would that be any good or not?
um,
I can't really know. I guess I could theory on that. It's
I mean, I guess there are. I mean, there's like Groudon and
it's
Kyogre,
still
which
pretty
is
weak, and you don't really want to be locked. I assume it would be Choice Scarf because to take advantage of
yeah.
this, and you don't really want to be locked into an Earth or a Ground move because of things like Rayquaza. Why do I keep saying
Yeah,
Rayquaza?
there's plenty of other Pokemon with Levitate too in
And it's
Ubers.
kind of outclassed by Landorus T, which is very good in Ubers.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah,
Like
it's
a Rock Polish, like Double Dancing, or just the bulky set?
even just defensive is probably one of the greatest checks you can get for Groudon, besides
Oh,
Gliscor.
interesting.
But then there's Lava Plume, which people have started running, which really annoys me because it'll burn my Landorus on the Switch.
Interesting. Yeah, I've run Gliscor in Ubers, and I know it's can be really good, and
Yeah.
Landorus team is similar. So
yes. So basically, Landorus, very good in OU, but not good in Ubers. So we probably should just stay.
well, being good in Ubers though is not a
Yeah,
criteria that they
Well,
ran it.
well, I mean, it would be if it gone up and then it would just come back down again.
they don't really
Yeah, I
unban
guess.
things, I don't think.
Well,
And
I don't
just
know. They
because, and
might.
just being number 28 kind of shows that it's not like
It is,
centralizing the game.
it's revenge killed by Mamoswine and Weavile and Banded
Yeah.
E-Speed from Dragonite. It is dealt with, but it's definitely a giant threat, and there isn't too many offensive things or defensive things that can switch into it.
So basically, it's not going to go, essentially, in our opinion. Uh,
Yes.
the next suspect, which was actually tested before, is Keldeo, which on the usage is number 12, a lot higher than Landorus. But like Landorus, well, not actually, I don't know, but it has a lot of defensive. It has a few defensive things that can switch in, and Keldeo does not have access to U-turn, so
It has HP bug though.
it does, but it is very limited on depending on which
It
hidden power it
it
has.
it pretty much has to choose what it wants to get walled by. HP Ghost, then Celebi can take it, Latias can take it.
Is there any reason to run HP Ghost?
Not really.
I would think like HP Ice and Electric hit more things, and it can even hit some of the things that HP Ghost hits.
Yeah, I would think either ice
HP Ghost,
go or ice or bug or electric.
HP Ghost is usually
Yeah.
become on mindset, but that's about it. There is Keldeo is it was suspected with Tornadus Therian, and part of the reason may be that but I don't it's not really broken, and it kind of is sort of centralized in the metagame. Everybody wants to use Keldeo because it's really good, the best Scarfer in the tier, and it's really strong. Like it's kind of like comparable to Mienshao in UU with Reckless I Jump Kick. It gets a boost to its move while holding a Choice Scarf, so it's really good. And it
So
can
even
run
with the Choice Scarf, you can like Oko things with your stab move.
yeah, and it can run like Calm Mindsets too. Sub Calm Mind is very good, but it does have to kind of choose when it wants to get walled by HP Electric. Then it's walled by Celebi
And Latias.
and Ladia.
Drag types.
Anything else, any other HP, it's kind of walled by Gyarados then. And Gyarados can actually set up on another Pokemon that is pretty overlooked for an offensive check to Keldeo that isn't Gyarados is Toxicroak. It resists its Secret Sword and it heals itself from water attacks. So Toxicroak is very good because it has to choose like HP ground or flying if it wants to hit it super effectively.
Or psychic.
HP
Which
Psychic.
HP Psychic.
I actually ran an expert belt Killedy with HP Psychic once, but that team was really bad, so I only used it for like 2 battles. It was- yep.
If I
It can
remember,
hit Tentacruel too.
if I remember correctly, I believe Keldeo, only like 20 something percent of the people voted to have it go. So, uh, I mean, just because with its checks, like they don't just like, check it. They like wall it cold. Like especially like Jellicent even like it cannot hurt Jellicent at all if it doesn't have the right hidden power.
hmm
And
And yeah, and most of the time it's choice scarfed, so if you can predict correctly, you can just play around it.
or it
But
can be scattered with protect easily, stuff like that.
yeah.
So yeah, although it is used a lot, there is a lot of things that can counter it, basically. So
Hmm.
it
Just watch out for
definitely
the hidden power.
stays.
Yeah.
While on topic of suspects, one of the tiers that has recently gone through some changes is the RU tier. It had Nidoqueen and Cresselia for a while, and now they're both gone. And in my opinion, that is a good thing for the tier. But Cap here plays a lot of RU, and he was wanting to talk about it the most because he's very opinionated on the subject.
Oh yes. Well, I'm most opinionated about Hale and RU, but we already kind of talked about that. But anyway, so Nido King.
Oh God,
Nidoking
Nidoking and
is the
RU.
RU
Oh
or
my
RU.
God.
Nido Queen leaving RU, I was kind of extremely sad and extremely glad because basically it was so centralizing that like 80% of my teams had it on it just because it's so good. Like you can just come in with it, like lead off with it, set up stealth rocks as they you like scare out their lead, and then just kill multiple things. So I was really sad that it's leave, but it was extremely centralizing. And now that it's left, the number one is still it's one of its main counters actually, which is Slow King. And Slow King was like number like 2 or 3 before. I think it was like right behind Sceptile before, but now Slow King is number one. And it's actually like it's pretty interesting because even though it was a kind of a check or a counter to Nidoqueen, now that Nidoqueen's not there to just wear away at it, it's has like free reign to like just run train. Like with the spec set, I think that's one of the best sets in RU now because even with just like HP investment, you can still wall a lot of things and they'll like try to bring in their like Drapion or something to kill you and then you just OHKO it with a surf. So Slowking is definitely like the number one threat right now. Or Spec Slowking, I think, is the number one threat. Um, Even though Slowking is number one, though, basically the most common core that you are seeing of the Tangrowth Slowking is kind of gone now, which I'm really happy about, actually. Slowking is number one now, and Tangrowth is number 20. So people are kind of running Slowking by itself, or they're running it with the Moongus now because since Amoonguss went up from NU, people are like, oh, this is actually kind of a better option because if we run Amoonguss, we can take the fighting moves with that kind of better and we have 100% accurate spores and just other things that Amoonguss is good at. And you still have the regenerator core, but Amoonguss is number 10 actually, which is kind of cool because you have 1, 10, and 20 to perfectly illustrate that. But
Yeah.
anyway, number 2 is actually Druddigon, which is very interesting because Nidoqueen was like the premier stealth rocker before, and now it seems that Druddigon is now, which is interesting because it used to be like the choice band set was the only set you see, but people have kind of realized that Druddigon is like one of the best checks to Sceptile and Entei now, which is number 3 and number 5 because more than half of the Sceptile sets are physical. So if you run like bulky with like Rocky Helmet, then once they attack you, it does not do much damage, and you take like 25%, or I think it's even more actually. And you can just paralyze them and shuffle around and set up stealth rocks, and you have nice priority. So yeah, so Slowking and Druddigon are very good teammates together, and then also in general, couple things that are annoying is because Slow King has so much usage, dark types are actually really good in the tier now. Uh, the one that's most used is Spiritomb, but probably the premier dark type is Absol because it's like mono dark and it's actually pretty good now because you can set up a Swords Dance and you can break through most of the top used Pokemon, which are Slow King, Sceptile. You can Oko with Sucker Punch, and yeah, Entei and Drudgon beat it though. But so basically, Dark types and Ghost types are really good on any RU team now because of Slow King and because there's fighting types are pretty common. Gallade is a huge threat always, and yeah. A team that I've been using recently is a balanced team that has a Spiritomb and hazards and stuff, and it's very hard to get past Spiritomb and RU now. So bulky ghost types like that and even Miss Drevis are pretty good in RU, but I think I've talked enough now, and so does anyone else want to add anything?
I have a couple things. One, Nidoqueen is still very good in UU, and two,
Very good.
I think we can all agree that Cresselia had no place in RU.
Cresselia needs to be in Ubers.
Cresselia needs to be deleted from Pokemon.
Yeah, that too.
Because I remember looking at RMTs, and literally all of them had Nidoqueen and Cresselia on them. And
Yeah,
they were all using the same Cresselia set with like Calm Mind and Thunder Wave.
yeah, like Calm Mind, mono attacking with Thunder Wave.
Yeah. Um, Taylor, do you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Okay then. Um, one thing that is common in all tiers is the use of hazards, and recently there was a thing where someone proposed a tier with no hazards in them, and it's just an interesting idea. Does anyone want to talk about that? I know Taylor introduced
um,
me to it, so
Smogon has two threads now. One about are hazards broken, and now two about do we want a suspect test for hazards? Mainly just Stealth Rock. I think it's just Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock is the best move in the game. You let's say an average battle is like 30 turns long. I think if I remember correctly, I heard that you can accumulate over 200% of damage to your opponent just with Stealth Rock alone. And it. Some people argue that it has to be in the game to check certain threats like Dragonite and Volcarona. But the thing is, without Stealth Rock, the amount of checks open up to what we can use to check those sort of Pokemon. For Volcarona, like now we have Moltres who can easily check Volcarona.
Can you violate
If it doesn't,
Magmar?
Moltres can easily check Volcarona without Stealth Rock up if Volcarona does not have HP ground or rock. Sorry, and Gyarados can also do the same thing because there's no Stealth Rock. Dragonite, it will come in versus with multi-scale, but we have Sand and Hail and to break that multi-scale. But then it can have leftovers. Then we can have Status and like Burns. So it'll when it tries to sit up on like Jelson, it'll just get burned. And all of the walls that can wall Dragonite will still wall Dragonite, and it'll do it even better because Stealth Rock slash all hazards are gone. So I don't really know if it. I don't really have an opinion on if they should be gone or not. Because it's just theory, Mon. Like we don't know what a metagame without Stealth Rock or hazards are going to be like. I'm pretty sure none of us here have played like third gen. At least I
uh,
haven't.
no, I've not played third gen.
We've
They
played
had
second
spikes.
gen.
Played second gen, but not third gen.
Oh well, I don't know how it is without Stealth Rocks, but I don't know what it would be like. So I can't really tell you. But
Well, there's still spikes, but there's only one layer, but everyone kind of still has like a spike lead. But it's not as like prominent because I think spikes damage is like 6%, which is just leftovers. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you still want to get them up, but it's not like it doesn't like change your team structure at all or anything.
Personally, I would be all for a tier with no hazards, but I'm afraid that it might turn into something like Clear Skies on PO, um, where it's like, no weather, we all hate weather, so let's make a tier with no weather, but then no one plays it, so I
And
don't know.
nobody plays. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
Yeah.
the thread that was the hazards thread is this broken whatever. It just got closed, and one of the mods said I can't remember what they just said, which is stupid because I just looked at it, but I think they're going to have a regular OU ladder with all the things in it, and then they're going to have a stealth rock less ladder that you can battle on and actually see what a metagame without stealth rock is like.
so it would be without Stealth Rock, but with spikes.
I think so
Yeah.
because spikes really aren't that
No,
broken. I mean,
no, not by
levitators are immune
themselves.
to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Levitators
I think
and flying
spikes
types.
are. I think spikes actually are pretty good, but
I mean, they're good,
it
but
does
like
take
in
3 turns
conjunction
to
with,
set up.
It takes three turns to
rocks.
set up, and they aren't that wildly distributed. Like there's Ferrothorn and Fortress, what I can think of.
And
Unless you want to use
Stormy.
like yeah, there's Scarm, yeah. So and all of those things are stopped by like some common threats in the metagame. Keldeo, Thunderous, and for Ferrothorn's case, like fighting types, Conkeldurr sets up on Ferrothorn, and it takes 3 turns to get them all up. And yeah, and then there's toxic spikes. I personally love toxic spikes. I think they're great. I don't know why. It's just something so cool about um, having them come in and they get poisoned. But they're probably the least broken hazard because
Well,
poison
because
it
if
adds.
the opponent has this poison type, then you just can't set them up until you kill that thing.
Public
Basically.
service announcement. If the opponent has a poison type which can absorb toxic spikes, don't set them up, please.
I love when people still set up both layers when you have a
Hey,
poison
I
type.
have something to add to that. If you want to strategically force their poison type to come in so you can knock it out with like a surprise move you have, then that's okay. But
Don't set up both
rule of
layers.
thumb, yeah, don't
Okay,
set up both layers, just enough to bait them out and then double or something. But I guess what we're saying is don't be stupid, please. We don't want to like laugh at you in our videos and then see you watch them and make get your feelings hurt.
I mean, so this guy. I was
Because we
playing this
have so
guy.
many.
I was playing this guy. He had Quillfish, right? I had Nidoqueen, and he set up his toxic spikes first before
Yeah,
spikes,
don't do that.
and I just was able to bring my Nidoqueen in and just kill him, and so he had no hazards up at all.
And
Uh,
he lost his quillfish.
and he lost his Quillfish, his physical wall. So don't do that. Anyways, so we're up
Um,
for a ladder with no stealth rocks, but if we just hope it gets played, basically.
Yeah, and we definitely don't want it banned from like regular OU.
No, definitely not. That would because stealth rocks is definitely like a strategic thing still.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have to
I
have a
just
Pokemon with
like
stealth rocks.
without stealth rocks, you stall is completely gone. It's all like, and I'm more of a balanced player. Probably leaning more to defense than offense. I don't really know. I can't really say that because I use pretty offensive teams nowadays. But stall is completely gone without hazards or without stealth rock. Because stealth rock is probably their most thing that they use to damage their opponents with spikes and stuff too. But spikes is immune to flying types and levitators, and then toxic spikes is immune to steel, poisons, flying types, and levitators. So yeah, then stall is like completely gone. And I don't know about you guys, but I want a metagame that is just offense, offense, offense. It might be nice to see have like a break and fight a more defensive balanced team than just fight
Yeah,
what has.
I feel like stall could still exist. Like it wouldn't be completely gone, but I think it would not be as prominent and as potent without its hazards.
One of the ways that they deal damage is gone. So
Yeah. So they'd have to like do it with status or something. I don't know.
Right.
yeah, some Pokemon are immune to status.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that concludes hazards. Next, let's talk about simulators. They have been a very popular alternative to Wi-Fi battling because they're a lot easier, more convenient. And of course, there are two main ones now with Showdown and Pokemon Online, and they
And
both have their differences. And I know I prefer Showdown over PO. PO I don't like dislike PO. Um, but they definitely have their differences. So first of all, which one do you guys like better?
depends on what tier I'm playing, really. Right now, I don't want to play Ubers on Showdown because there's no sleep clause. But UU in PO has Reuniclus and Blissey. They're not that game changing. I just feel weird playing a metagame that has Reuniclus in UU, or playing UU with Reuniclus. That thing almost went Uber at the start of Black and White 1. And
Yeah,
it can be dealt with, but I just don't want to deal with it.
exactly.
Yep. But here's a question though: if both of them had the exact same tiers, which one would you play more or prefer?
Oh, PO definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
probably PO.
I feel that there are less, for lack of a better word, douchebags on PO than there
yeah,
are on
definitely.
Showdown because it's like browser based. So I feel
Mhm.
like PO is like the exclusive club you can into if you have to download it. But Showdown's just like you can just come in and because it's open browser. Um,
I feel like in general, Showdown has a lot more serious players too. Like there's serious players on both, but I
Also,
tend, yeah. Go ahead.
Showdown um has animations, so I don't know. People might like animations. Also,
PO has animations now.
well, yeah, but the way the window that has animations is just kind of like stupid. Like that
It looks
I hate it. Um,
I hate it.
I know I literally just can't I just can't I can't use that window. Um, but Showdown has recently changed their whole site. Like they got like a background and kind of reorganized everything. You now can turn animations off. It's a lot easier to pick your avatar. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, and those I guess the two main things, but a few main things. But it just kind of looks nicer, I guess.
I have to
One
say, I
thing I like.
really do like the new Showdown, but
You can
what do you?
download themes for PO, however. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
I can't.
yeah, but yeah.
One thing I like over about PO that is not on Showdown is when if somebody's time stalling you, and after they make a move when it's like 4 seconds left, it doesn't go immediately back up to the max amount of time that you can wait. It gives them like 60 seconds or whatever.
Well,
So I like that.
I don't think it does that at Showdown either, but I think they have to wait like longer. Like I think like
You
uh
get like 120 seconds when you click it or whatever, and then if they make a move at like 4 seconds, it goes back up to 120.
well, I think it keeps going down. Well, I don't know. It did that for me like
It'll keep
once.
going down, but they can time stall you for like 120 seconds more. When on like PO they give you like 60 seconds.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but on PO it's initially 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that is kind
I
of long.
really haven't run into too many situations where people time stall me over the course of like 15 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
I
PO generally it's easier to time stall.
I think PO is less laggy. I think we can
Yeah.
agree on that because it's
Yes.
downloaded.
Also, PO doesn't get DDoSed a lot either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, even though the last one was Taylor because he was upset that he lost for our to the top challenge.
Yeah.
And also on Showdown, people tend to accidentally lose their teams too because they like mess with their cookies. And on
Oh yeah.
PO, it's kind of cool because you have like since it's a downloaded thing, you have like a Teams folder and you can have like each part of it like in your actual computer so you can like interact with it,
What
which I like.
also, well, I mean, in Showdown, like they warn you, like they have a thing now that says like if you delete your temporary storage or cookies, you will lose your teams. Like it says that now. But still, yeah, people still accidentally do that.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, I think that's it on the simulators, unless you guys had anything else to add.
Well, I wanted to say
Well,
PO in general, like I like both of them. I probably battle on Showdown more just because you can share the replays. But I find PO is kind of just a more relaxing experience, and that's where I go just to screw around,
Yeah.
which is
yeah.
like 70% of the time, except I actually balance Showdown more. But I screw around a lot of the time. But
Showdown is
I
good
find
for
Showdown is more serious
It is. I agree.
because it's
Showdown is
Pokemon, because it's a showdown.
Showdown is good for us narrators because we can share replays.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that
the
kind
main thing I like. If PO had this system exactly like that, I would probably battle on
Well,
PO.
see,
Like,
they have
PO
replays now,
PO
but they're not as
PO used to have it. Like what they PS their replay viewer was like based on PO's old
sure.
replay viewer. Like the guy who made it was he basically like designed the whole showdown thing in general.
oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
But now like you can't use it for PO anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, replay viewer is nice, but so both have their advantages. Main thing for me is the tiers like Houndoom and NU. What's going on? I don't know, but anyways,
What about Wi-Fi battling? Just kidding.
Wi-Fi battling. I
No
can't
cancel
really
culture.
Wi-Fi
No
battle
rankings.
because I don't have a copy of Black and White 2. Um, and there's all the whole like takes longer and disconnecting and all that stuff too.
Well, and even if you Wi-Fi battle, if you're a YouTuber, you have to do the thing where you have to get the replays onto your computer, and you have to make all your Pokemon. And
Yeah, that's a lot
on Showdown and
tedious.
PO, you can do that in like 2 minutes.
Right. So, speaking of tiers, one tier that has recently been getting more Pokemon, especially in the PO, is the BL tier. Like, for example, like when Haxorus went down to UU, which was a complete disaster. Um,
Why?
I they moved it to BL, and like they have a bunch of Pokemon in BL now. Like I think Latias is
I
BL,
just want to say something.
Staraptor.
Latios is BL.
Pretty sure I saw where Latias was BL
Wait, on
Holy.
PO
on PO.
or Smogon? Okay.
I just want to say something. Why did you put Haxorus in UU? Why?
It had no counters.
I'm pretty sure that PO they have like an automated system where if something drops past a certain usage, it'll just automatically go UU. I'm pretty sure nobody monitors that because like Hydreigon was UU. Right now Reuniclus is UU, which is kind of dealt
And
with, but
Blissey's
Blissey.
still
UU.
Blissey is UU. Like I think it's based on usage.
But the thing is, it's like I feel like Ryu Nicholas and Blissey might go to BL, like, and then thing with BL is unless like the Pokemon's really well known, like people don't tend to see those BL Pokemon as an option for OU, even though that they're perfectly viable. Like I used Staraptor in OU and it's like really good. Um,
Kyurem Black was UU on PO.
like Kieran Black was UU. Like this I don't know. The tiers are kind of messed up. But this is why I mainly just if I play there, I usually play just like OU because it's like it's basically like Showdown's OU except there are like less Pokemon in it because all of them are BL. But yeah.
The
Um
BL tier list for
oh
Smogon right now is Chansey, Gothitelle, Kyurem, Staraptor, and Wobbuffet. Do you want to talk about their place in OU slash
uh
UU?
yeah, we can talk about that. Are we talking about the Smogon ones or the PO ones?
I have Smogon pulled up right now.
I can get the PO
Uh,
ones up.
okay.
I think in general, PO just needs to like centralize themselves more because the whole thing with having all these different servers kind of just lets stuff like Pokemon, like Blissey and Reuniclus move down. So I think they should do something like Showdown and just join all the servers into the Pokemon Online server and then just have more mods and
Yeah.
people actually working on the tiers.
Yeah, why do we need two simulators?
I honestly have no idea. I think
Well,
Smogon,
why do you need like 15 servers for PO?
well here's what I think happened. I think Smogon had some beef with PO, like the guy who made PO, and so they split. I think like
Yeah, that,
that's so
that's
I think they had some falling out or something. That's why they split out of there. But anyways, BL tier on PO is Chansey, Frostlass, Gothitelle, Haxorus, Hydreigon, Kyurem B, Latias, Roserade, Smeargle, Sandstream, Snow Warning, Staraptor, Vulpix, Wobbuffet.
That is so much stuff.
That
that's
is
big.
that is a lot of Pokemon in the BL. I mean,
Um, is the BL tier for PO include Chansey, Gothitelle, Kyurem, Staraptor, and Wobbuffet?
yes, all those are on BL.
Okay, so I'll just close the Smogon one, and you can just say Pokemon, and then we'll discuss their use in OU or UU.
So
Or
clearly,
FE.
I think we're all clear that Chansey should not be in UU ever again.
Nope.
And
I
should
think that should be in Ubers too.
so basically it should be OU. Like there's no reason it
Ubers.
should be even BL at all, in my opinion. But I don't know. I mean,
I think it's only BL because people hate using it, so they just don't,
I guess
and
so.
it
Yeah.
drops in usage.
Um, Frostlass, which is smug on UU, and I feel like it works well in UU. I
I'm
it's
pretty sure that PO just hates spike stacking offense because they got rid of Rose Raid in UU2, which I really hate. Like that's one of the another reason I play PS over PO for UU. Like Rose Raid was kind of really good back in Black White 1, early Black 2, or Black White 2. But now it's entirely dealt. Like you can deal with it easily, in my opinion.
yeah. So next is Gothitelle, which clearly went straight up to BL as soon as it got its Shadow Tag Dream World ability.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh man, that was fun times when Chattercast Gothitelle was NU.
yeah, that just shot up like immediately.
It was so good. But anyway,
In OU, it has some pretty nice usage um to trap opposing weather starters or just weather starters in general. It is really good on Sun with Doug Trio because then you basically win the weather war every single time.
well,
Sun offense.
basically though, the only weather uh user though it can only successfully beat one-on-one though is Polytoad
Um,
and a
it
Bomb Snow,
can
I guess, but
Yeah.
and
um
Hippowdon maybe, I don't know.
it beats every single one except for Tyranitar, which is why you have Doug Trio on it too.
Here's my question though. Do you guys think that Gothitelle would be broken in UU?
I do
Uh,
not think so. I think it would be broken in RU, but not UU.
the thing that it would probably use for is trapping Umbreon and Snorlax and then having your special attackers run rampant. So I don't know if it would be broken, but I definitely don't want to have it in there to deal with it because like they can just spam special attacks because your Snorlax is gone with Trick, Choice Specs or Psyshock, just kill it.
Yeah.
Now, when you say trapping Snorlax and Umbreon, you mean just like trap them and trick them a choice item?
Trap them or come in and does it get Foam Splash?
I don't know.
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't think
Yeah,
so.
I mean the only way it's gonna cripple Umbreon is to trick it a choice item, and I
Yeah.
actually did use Gothitelle like that before in OU just because I love tricking choice items. So I would just trap a wall, trick it a choice item.
Yeah, it can heavily cripple Umbreon by tricking and choice item because then you can't heal. So you can take the hits, sure, but then you're either locked onto Wish or you're locked onto like Owlblade.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, another side note: if you're using Umbreon in UU or any other tier, if I catch you using Payback, I'm gonna be under your bed.
You heard it here first. All right.
Now, what do you think? Now, what do you think about the Calm Mind Gothitelle set?
Yuck! Don't.
It's really annoying.
I
But
really hate it. But do you think it would be broken in, or do you think it's usable in OU or broken in UU?
well, here's the thing.
Um,
Gothitelle, it'll come in and set up and kill like one thing, but then it'll get like outcode by Banded Scissor U-turn.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
or like
But do you
the
think
thing,
that would be broken in UU, the Calm Mind set?
uh,
yeah,
No.
uh,
would be.
I think it could be potentially broken if they didn't have an Umbreon.
The thing I see it checking is or coming into trap is like Snorlax, and that can use Whirlwind or Crunch Pursuit, whatever.
you could
Or
bring in Weavile too to revenge it. That's a thing.
yeah. So yeah, I don't.
Like something like Darmanitan hits it super hard, like Banded Flygon, Heracross, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unless it had Trick
Smogon
Room.
they don't really support complex bans. Like you can't use Vex on Gothitelle. It has to be Combine.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about just banning the Calm Mind set, but I'm just trying to go over all the different Gothitelle sets.
Yeah, okay.
Because it seems in OU mostly it's just Choice Scarf and Choice Specs, but when it was lower tiers, it was mostly Calm Mind, even though like the choice sets were just as viable too. But
All right. Next two, Hackstress and Hydreigon. Both do not belong in UU, clearly.
Yeah, we can.
no,
We don't even need to talk about them in UU. We can
Kirim,
talk about them in
Kirim
though.
is interesting though, in my opinion. The regular form of Kirim,
that was UU for a while.
and now it's BL. Do you guys think it's broken in UU?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in my
The
opinion.
thing
136
is,
special attack.
like there's only like 2 good steel types in UU, which are I guess there's 3:
Bronzong.
Registeel, Bronzong, and Empoleon.
There's also Cobalion too.
Oh, yeah. But basically, if you have Earth Power, then the only one that really does counter it is Bronzong.
And that can't
So-
even like.
It would. I think it would be centralizing.
Yeah, I agree. And of
I
course,
think like Scarfed Kyurem would be on every team.
yeah.
It would be way too good.
And then of course Kieran B. No UU, please.
No.
I don't even know why Latios is on here because it's really good.
Yeah, it's like almost one of the best Pokemon in that tier. Well, it is one of the best Pokemon.
Yeah, it's really good in the current OU metagame.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Roserade, which of course is Smogon UU. I don't think is broken at all in UU at all.
It is not broken.
No.
It might have been good back in the day when they banned it, but
It
I
was
don't know.
very good back in the day.
Then next thing is Smeargle.
Oh god, Ubers.
Delete from Pokemon. It wouldn't be broken in UU because there's things to stop a Baton Pass change, like Whirlwind Snorlax. But it would definitely be annoying, and I just don't want it in UU so I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I think that's in BL along with the lines of them hating spike stacking offense.
Yeah, that you can have Spore, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Whirlwind.
Because like Smeargle, Roserade, and Frostlass are all in BL.
Uh-huh.
And those are all not in those are all UU or lower on Smogon, so
Then of course we have Sandstream and Snow Warning, which we don't really need to talk about.
both please.
Perhaps the most interesting on here is Staraptor. Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally think it's the most interesting on here. Gothitelle maybe is also.
That or Vulpix. Vulpix was interesting.
Yes. It's interesting how they decided to ban Vulpix and not just Drought.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to ban.
I guess
Drought
it's just
UU.
easier to ban Vulpix.
If they ban Drought, Smogon does not support complex bans at all, so they can't ban Drought from UU, but not from OU. They'd have to just ban Drought.
But a PO could. I mean, they banned Sandstream and Snow Warning. But
Well, PO
So they
kinda,
should. So why did they
like-
ban those and not ban just Drought? Because they could have
Yeah.
banned just Hippopotas or Snover.
right. So I don't know. Anyways,
like
Although I guess Hippowdon and Abomasnow sometimes move down to UU. So
I think they banned like what they mean by Sand Warning or Snow Warning in Sandstream is they banned the weather
Hailstream.
starters with those abilities in that tier. Like I think if they were in that tier, you could use them with their different abilities.
yeah. Like Hippowdon without Sandstream would still be pretty good.
what if I want to use Vulpix with whatever it has,
Good
Flash Fire in UU?
That's why they like banned Blaziken just as a Pokemon, but they didn't just ban Speed Boost because banning Speed Boost means Torpedo is
Torpedo,
gone,
anyway.
sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's different with Drought though because there's only
Ninjas.
like Vulpix. It's different.
Yes, please ban Speed Boost, ban Ninjas. Yes, let's do it right
No,
now.
but it's different. It's different with Vulpix though because with Drought it's only Vulpix, Ninetales, and Groudon have Drought, as opposed to Speed Boost, which you have like Yanmega and Ninjask and Sarpedo, as well as
I
Blaziken.
changed
banning-
my mind. We need to ban Speed Boost. It's too broken.
Banning Drought is like banning a huge playstyle in OU. Like,
But just from
Without
UU
Drought,
and PO, that's what I'm talking about. Like
I
from
mean,
BL.
OU.
We're just because it's kind of like an inconsistency, like why they banned Snow Warning and Sandstream when they banned Vulpix.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's too
Well,
broken
banning,
without drought. Like I don't I don't know.
I guess they could just ban drought in UU, but they couldn't ban just drought because banning drought in OU would make rain so broken.
Well, we're not
Like,
even talking about it in OU.
I know, but still,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they could have just banned,
delete Polytoad.
delete poly.
Let's just go ahead and finish up the BL tier because we're running over an hour here. Um, so
Staraptor, powerful threat.
Staraptor,
Use it.
very powerful threat. Definitely should not be UU. Nothing really resists flying. There's only like one Pokemon, but yeah. Well, I mean, still, it would still do a lot.
Bronzong and Registeel, but you do have close combat too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And then of course, you got Wobbuffet, which definitely does not belong in EU.
Ubers, please.
Now we kind of like ran over an hour, but do we want to briefly touch on X and Y real quick? Um, I know that's a pretty popular topic.
sure.
Sure. So that's coming out in October, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
so
the
we got
problem is you need a 3DS, but
Froakie, Chespin, and then what's the
Fennekin.
Firefox? Fennekin, yeah.
Fennekin.
What do you guys think about them? What's the coolest? What would you get? What types do you think they're gonna be?
I really like Chespin.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know why. I don't know. Something about it.
Well,
Maybe just I usually choose the water type, but I don't really like Froakie too much. But I really like Chespin for some reason. Just because I don't know, I like physical grass types, and it seems like it's good. I think it's gonna be a physical thing. Like it might get some special attacks, but
No, Cap, you're gonna hate it. It's gonna be the stalliest thing in the world. 130 base HP, 140 base defense.
it's gonna be a defensive monster because it has the nut on its head.
Yep.
anyways, isn't it rumored that Fennekin's evolution is gonna be like Fire Psychic or something weird like that?
Yeah, that was a rumor. I could see that because it's kind of a similar thing to Vulpix, and Vulpix and Ninetales kind of have like a psychic power. Like I don't know if you guys watched the anime, but like it's like a thing where if you touch Ninetales' tails, you go mad, and it gets like Confuse Ray and stuff. So
Yeah.
might be something.
Well,
What do you think about the starters?
well, personally, what we're talking about in terms of looks or in terms of just all around everything.
Just all around. What would you pick? What do you think their typing is?
I like the idea of a Fire Psychic type, because well, I mean, there's Victini, but like that's legendary, so
That's only one, too. Yeah.
yeah. So I would probably, if I were to pick, my first pick might be Fennekin or Froakie.
I like the I like Froakie.
Wow, we all chose a different one.
Yeah, I know. That's cool how it happened that way.
Yeah.
What types do you think you guys are what they're gonna be?
Well, I mean, you have Seismitoad, which is like a frog, which is water ground.
I remember hearing rumors that Froakie's evolutions might be like water flying, or they might even make it the new type that Sylveon is supposed to be because like it's supposed to get like a bunch of like bubbles or bubble beard or something. I don't know, but water
Yeah.
flying potentially.
I want it to be water electric.
I think
That'd be like a fast water electric type.
That would be pretty cool.
that would be nice. I think Chespin could be grass fighting.
I
That'd
could see that. I could see maybe like grass dark just because it kind of reminds me of Shift Tree also.
Could you
Just
imagine Froakie in rain with like Thunder Stab and Hydro Pump Stab?
Oh my goodness.
That would be pretty good.
It's like a fast road to wash.
Selby usage would rise even more.
Oh
What
my
about
god.
U-turn too, or like Signal Beam? Oh my, okay.
There's There's also Sylveon, which was released. The new Eevee evolution, which no one knows what type it's going to be.
Yeah, I
See,
think they confirmed it's going to be a new type.
Did they?
I'm
I
pretty sure
don't
they did.
that personally.
But that might be a lie, but I'm pretty sure they did.
No, we'll see. Um, there's the two legendaries, Xerneas and Yveltal.
Yubadal.
Yveltal.
Oh wait, it's even tall.
Wait,
Yveltal.
hold on. Back on Sylveon. You guys want another type?
No,
I
Neither
don't
do I.
think I don't think it's necessary at all, really.
I don't want. I think it's just gonna make the game more complicated.
Okay,
And
we have type combinations that there is no Pokemon that exists that have them. So why make another new type? We don't need it right now.
well, and the thing too is that since you've already have like 5 generations of the current typing system, if you add another one, then you're gonna have like no Pokemon of that type because you have to keep making more of them
It's
because
like first gen with Dragon and Ghost.
yeah, and like when second gen when they added Dark and Steel, there was like barely any Steel types, and so they had to make Magnemite a Steel type kind of just to keep adding them
Yeah.
because there was like they're very sparse back when they first added them. So the new type that Sylveon's going to be is, if it is going to be a new type, is going to be really sparse and just kind of pointless, I think.
What do you
Back on
guys
the legend.
what do you
Oh,
guys think the new legendary types are? Unless I don't think they've been revealed at all.
I saw on Showdown somebody said I think it was a mod. I could be very wrong. I think he said it was confirmed that Yubadal was going to be a dark flying.
Yeah, that makes
From
sense.
Uber's standpoint, that would be pretty good because if it would work on rain, which means it could work on rain. You could get a check for Arceus Ghost, which is a giant threat in today's metagame, and you'd also check Darkrai, which is also another giant threat for Ubers.
Yeah, in my opinion, Ubers needs more dark types.
Now, do you
I
think it's going to be a special attacker though, or a physical attacker?
I hope it's mixed. I hope it's so broken I can just abuse the crap out of it, and I hope
Like, what
it's
if it got
banned.
Hurricane? That would be awesome.
Like I hope it's so good it's banned from Uber's good. That'd be awesome. Just use it.
Ubers.
Now, what
Uber,
about
Uber.
what
Go for
about
money.
Xerneas?
I think I saw somewhere that Xerneas was suspected to be a psychic and rock type, which is a very interesting type. I'm pretty sure nobody else has a type.
Lunatone
Lunatone
and
and
Solrock,
Solrock too.
but their
Oh, okay.
stats are so bad that
Yeah,
That
it'll
is
be
an
a good
interesting.
offensive typing,
I think yeah.
especially if it's like, but it better be
Like
physical. It
if you
better
got
be
a rock
physical.
move, it would be like Edge Quake with a Psychic Stab too.
Well, it better
So
have better physical attack then, because unless they make a really good special rock move.
yeah, they really need to do that. They need to make rock
Um,
be
if it was good enough for Ubers and it looks kind of defensive to me, in my opinion. Um, wow, we've said like in my opinion so many times in this podcast.
What is our
well, that's
opinion?
mostly what podcasts are.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. If it's defensive enough, it will be the best check for Mewtwo in the game. In Sand, it gets the Spidef boost, and it is resistant to Psystrike.
So I
Yeah,
guess Mewtwo's would have to
the only
run like
the
Shadow
only
Ball.
move that Mewtwo could have to hit it super effectively would be like Grass Knot or something.
Shadow
Yeah.
Ball even.
Oh yeah, Shadow Ball too. Yeah, that's right.
But even in the Sand, it won't do that much. So, but then it's kind of like overlaps rock water weaknesses with Tyranitar or Powdon if you want to use it. But it could be interesting as a nice check to Mewtwo or counter.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
So looking at the Cerebi page, it's looking like there are 4 new Pokemon that have been released other than the starters in Sylveon and the legendaries,
Yeah, there was the Pidgey-esque one,
which is
right?
Fleshling, which is just looks like a classic normal flying type. I mean,
Yeah.
the standard normal flying type. Um,
Yeah, it looks. People have been saying too that it would be like cool if it evolved into a fire flying because it kind of looks like it could.
and it
I
gets
don't
the
know.
move Nitro Charge.
Yeah,
That's
that too.
Flame Charge.
Yeah. And there's a Pancham, which is fighting type.
Oh, I want that.
That's
I
gonna be
hope that's
really cool.
awesome.
And they have the new move Parting Remark, Oh,
Uh, wait, do we know what that
There've been
is?
there's been speculation that that's something called like U-turn, but instead of hurting them, it lowers their stats and then switches out.
okay.
Um, which
That
would
would
be
be really good.
that would be good, like especially on hyper offense teams. Use parting remark on the switch to like cap out on if it's a physical attacker. Go to your banded Dragonite and kill something.
Also, I see on here the Pokedex entry. It says like Pancham tries to intimidate its opponents by glaring at them intensely, so maybe it gets intimidated. I don't know.
Oh, that would be really good. It's cool too how because I'm assuming these are going to be the Pokemon you find in earlier routes, so it's cool that they would give you a fighting type really early on because of all the normal types and stuff. But
We definitely need more fighting types.
yeah, and a fighting type with Intimidate would be very good, I think. Especially since you could like switch in on a hit and then use parting remark and ever if they stay in, they're even more crippled. And if they switch out, then you get switch advantage and like potential setup opportunity too.
You could like use intimidate and switch in on like brave birds.
All right, so I thought you were gonna say something. The next Pokemon on here, Goat.
You can ride that thing, can't you?
It says it's a grass type and can learn the move Horn Leech, which is an awesome move. It is capable of being ridden within Miare City and possibly other places.
Oh, only in one city? That's dumb.
Yeah, there's art of the trainer riding it.
And so it's a monograss. Just looks kind of like a Sawsbug without the normal type.
I don't like the design.
I think it could be like Sawsbuck, but kind of like a little bulkier.
Yeah, maybe. It kind of looks like one of those Pokemon that doesn't get an evolution either.
Yeah, I think that was confirmed too.
All right, the next one is Helioptile, which is a normal electric type.
Eh.
Yeah, it's kind of like it gets a parabola charge, which heals the user while damaging opponents.
So it's like electric type Giga Drain, which would actually be pretty good on other stuff. Like
Oh, Cap, can you imagine Zapdos with Parable Charge?
oh yes.
That would be really good.
Oh, they need to give it Lightning Rod too. Oh man, that'd be so good.
Hey, Seb, can you use your sexy voice and read us the Pokédex entry?
Pokédex entry of Helioptile?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Helioptile charges itself by bathing in the light of the sun, providing it with enough energy that it doesn't need to eat.
It eats
Electric
sun.
fire, please.
Maybe its evolution gets like solar power. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
That'd be. So do you think it's a physical attacker or a special attacker? I almost said a normal attack.
Well, Parabola
Looks
Charge
special
sounds
to me.
physical,
Mhm.
It looks special to me.
but it could also be special. You never know.
I really hope it is special because the parabola charge would be awesome if it was a special move.
On Zapdos.
Well, no, but just because the majority of electric Pokemon are special attackers, so
What
if you
about
can-
Parable Charge for Electivire? They're bringing it back.
no.
All right. So the last thing that in X and Y that has been revealed is the new Mewtwo form, Awakened Mewtwo.
That's a crappy name. Please change it.
It's got like, it almost looks like something from Mass Effect, if you've ever.
Nope.
It looks like that Dragon Ball Z character, Boo or whatever.
Yeah, I don't honestly have no idea what they would if they would change its stats at all. Like, I mean,
Physical Mewtwo, let's go.
physical Mewtwo, because its stats are ridiculous anyway. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's bulkier. I don't know. It doesn't look bulkier to me.
Wall Mewtwo.
The thing is, like, almost all Mewtwo stats are just through the roof anyway, so it's hard to speculate on how they could improve them or change them.
Yeah.
But since it's like Awakened Mewtwo, is it like Mewtwo that's like not evil anymore?
Oh, it has insomnia.
What?
It's awakened. It has insomnia.
It's awakened. It's awake.
Ah, yeah. Can switch into that. Can switch into
Switch into
Smeargle.
Breloom. It's a counter for Breloom. Resist Mach Punch.
Wait, are there any common sleep inducers in Uber? Oh, Darkrai, but
Darkrai.
it's a psychic
Yes.
type.
That thing is
So,
obviously a fighting type. Okay.
Psychic fighting would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Gallade has that.
all right, guys. So,
And
in your opinion, which version are you getting, X or Y?
X.
why?
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be getting the Z version when it comes out.
Z version.
No, it's gonna be X2 and Y2.
Yep.
X squared, Y squared.
The Z it has like the legendary is like this big ass unknown Z with like ridiculous stats.
Broky's Pokedex entry
Actually,
says
wait. If you look at Mewtwo's little head thing and how it kind of goes down and curls, if you look at it from the side, it could kind of be a Z almost.
Maybe. Interesting.
Broky's entry says the bubbles on its chest and back protect it from attacks. It's gonna be bulky. No. Not
Yeah,
another
that's what
bulky
I'm saying
water.
about the bubbles too. Like that might make it a flying type or something.
Oh, it says that Chessman has a tough shell covering its head and back.
It's gonna be
What is-
Torterra Mark II.
200 degrees from the ears of the fire type Pokemon Fennekin.
Although it
This
says it
Pokemon-
keeps optimistic and doesn't worry about small details, which means it's reckless. High jump kick.
reckless.
All right, guys. So I think that'll do for this podcast. We're like at almost at an hour and a half. Um, so if you hope you guys enjoyed, comment with your opinions on anything we've talked about here.
If you
This
thought it
will
was
probably
garbage, let us know.
this will probably be a continuing thing if it gets support and stuff. I mean, I've had
So
fun
tell
doing
your
this.
friends.
Tell your friends. The Chattercast.
Yes.
You guys want to talk about your channels?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about Taylor's channel.
Anyways, this has been Smiley's. That's Captain Jerwall and Super Effective 87. And this has been the Chattercast. So I hope you guys enjoyed.
Bye.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Taffy.